Alright, you recording?
Yeah.
Look at this racist ass supermarket. There's an Asian food section with soy sauce?
Yeah, too. It's like Asian sauce.
Alright, fine. Look at this. Fucking ramen? Like every Asian eats instant ramen?
Yeah, dude, technically, like, I think it's like...
Mother...
Hello there, chat. How are you doing? I hope you're ready for some unapologetic autism. Autism from the past, actually. This guy came on my radar many years ago. Ancient times when it comes to internet times. And by that I mean 3 years ago. Even before I had my account. He's been something of a mystery because he's been around for many years, even before VTubers were a thing, doing very small videos about pretty much anything, politics, sports, what have you. He's been around on the internet probably as a content creator, if you want to call him that. He never gained much traction. But it's been like 14 years since he debuted on YouTube, and the fact that actually some of you have actually heard of him, that's the most baffling part of this to me, because he has no viewership. His notoriety is kind of nil, but even so, I have people that have come to me and told me that they know this guy. And I was asking, like, how? And it seems that he kind of made a menace out of himself offline. And I've seen in the chat right now Nyaru mentioning that he's been around the convention circuit a lot. And that's pretty much where people know him from, that he's made himself into a small-time menace. Always... having beef with some kind of management at conventions, making up outlandish reasons why he's being persecuted, that he's being chased out, everyone's racist, and everyone wants him gone. It's he's a character, for fucking sure. And why do I want to cover him now, 3 years later, when he's videos are just exactly that long, that old? Well, to me he's notable, and I always wanted to cover him when I started my Twitter account, but there was like no good format to do with that, because I would have to post like 20-15 minutes of video footage to Twitter and explaining everything that was going on in there, and actually ranting about it would have been a huge pain. I would have to cut it into smaller segments, make sure everything's commented on, and that would be a huge fucking pain. So I'm glad that I started streaming, and now I can fulfill my dream of covering ye old Plasmawarrior. Someone that only I actually know, and someone that probably gave him more attention than he ever deserved, but you know, it is what it is. I cover people that have no notoriety. I cover people that are just blips on the internet. They came around 1 second and another they're gone. So, you know, without further ado, let's get into it. Let me give you some context for all of this. All of these videos and all of these rants that you're gonna see, all of them happened in the middle of 2020, around the time that VTubers have been on the rise. Well, they started getting big in the Western part of things. The Japanese ones, of course, were already popular. They were already very established among English-speaking fans, and but English-speaking VTubers themselves were still in fledgling form. Most of them, a lot of them have been getting bigger in those years, and that's especially the V Shoujo girls, Silvervale, Iron Mouse, Zentreya, Project Melody, all of the crew. They've been getting very big, and they have been pretty much the standard that was established for the community for a lot of people there. So Plasmawarrior is one of these people that have been hanging around these people, and he's been a part of many discords of the V Shoujo girls, and he's gotten himself into hot water with them over what some of you would probably think is a nothing burger. I kind of think is a nothing burger, and it's not even tangentially related to Silvervale as he claims it is, but you know, in his paranoid and adult mind, it all fits together. Everyone's after him, and the VTuber community is doomed because someone made the channel called Pets and called it AKA Asian food. And this is what basically set him off on a very long rant that lasted several videos, several Twitter threads over the period of like 4 to 5 months. And that's the only thing that he needed to basically become unhinged. Let me put some music on. Let me grab my drink from the shelf, because I'm gonna need one. Non-alcoholic, of course. I want to be as sober as possible for this. You guys don't have to. Only I have to do that. Hold up. There we go. Now you have the proper atmosphere for this nonsense. So, starting off, he has made this thread in May of 2020. It's been a while since I posted anything here. Anyway, I've done my research, and this is what Silvervale has been avoiding things for, as well as Project Melody, Zentreya, Iron Mouse, and a few others. As for your discords, I don't need them. One more thing. Yes, that's my real name. Yes, you can look it up. No, you really don't have anything that you can do legally, since this comes straight from your discords and your mods before you banned me. Makes actual racist topic is protected by the quote-unquote community. See, this is the thing that he had an issue with, because Silvervale's Discord at the time had this jokingly named channel called Pet Pics, aka Asian food. This is the one thing that set him off on his monthly crusade, well, 4-monthly crusade against Silvervale and part of the V Shoujo crew. Hey Plasma, it's been brought to the eFout mod's attention that you display toxic behavior on social media towards other VTubers. This is a warning that if there's defamation of any kind on any display and toxicity, we will remove you from the community. Take care and have a good day. He was subsequently banned because he's defiant. Of course, he wouldn't post his own logs, and no one cared enough about him to post them themselves, because again, he's very, very unnotable. He's a very obscure existence on the internet. Here's him posting the rules. Why is he posting the rules on Twitter? Well, because he thinks the moderators are hypocrites because they're protecting toxicity among their own community, and him, the guardian of all that is just and good in the world, stepped up and got witch hunted for it. I'm writing the script for my next YouTube video, and I will be shooting it in this week. This one will be about virtual cons. As for the VTuber endgame, that will come later. It will not be pretty. First Silvervale, then George Floyd's situation, now San Japan. Am I ever going to get off the race relations train? Video on San Japan coming soon. This video was coming anyway. And no, I don't want to be nice. I tried being nice, and it doesn't matter to you all. We're gonna watch all of these videos, so be ready for some quality ranting of a very paranoid and almost schizophrenic person. People advocating for the president to die are sick. I don't want any president to die, so if you think I'm in favor of RIP Donald Trump, I wouldn't even think of wanting Barack Obama to be killed. Yes, you sick fucks. See guys, he wouldn't even wish Obama dead. He's that much of a good guy. Oh joy, another Silvervale video to come out soon. Why? Emot thought it was a joke to compare pets to Asian food. Their excuse? It wasn't me, even though you own the Discord server itself. Why isn't she deplatformed yet? Wow, a basic Google search on VTuber cringe is already making me question how much more I want to be part of this. One VTuber has been famous for saying the N-word without repercussions. I'm legit scared for my job and my convention life right now. This is before I made VTuber cringe, so this is not related to me. VTuber cringe is just something Zoomers like to repeat, you know, because VTubers are cringe, and cringe is the word of the day for a lot of Zoomers. I use that moniker because, you know, SEO. I start with the question: what do you guys have to say about this? Links that Pet Pigs, aka Asian food thing again. When Lootcast was announced and Project Melody, Silvervale, and Iron Mouse were in it. I think this was the second Lootcast at that point, and yeah, he was basically adding them several times on Twitter, trying to get their attention for this one particular thing. The VTuber report, which we're gonna read in a moment. My VTuber report in full. Case in point, you do not want to be in this report. Remember, this report was for my convention context. Thus, it has some holes I can post here. For those who aren't named negatively in this report, stay away, please. Silvervale, Project Melody, Iron Mouse, Ayumi One-san, Hentai VTuber, Magical Mystic VA, Jenny Starveling, Kuvuru Usagi. I think he typed that wrong. It was supposed to be Kuro Usagi, but you know, his spelling isn't all that good. He's probably dyslexic, kinda. Since I am too, I kinda see similar mistakes in his writing style, so do forgive him. Digitirex and Ari Lambert. Don't call me, I'll call you. Never again. I'll be looking to send this report to convention staff as well soon. Bottom line, all you had the chance to say this isn't good for anyone. We need to fix it. Instead, you act things on honestly. Cons are built both safe spaces and knowing when to let drama caused by you or someone else go. But no matter what you say, calling people evil with no evidence, telling people you shouldn't cause drama, or call you out on things, and comparing pets to food for Asian people is an easy way to get on a con chair's bad side. And yes, got on this con's chair bad side. Well, I know people aren't going to like me, but for what reason do Novelos Dia and Lud Nekonya have for blocking me? I legit had nothing negative to say about either. They again seem to prove the point. Spiteful. And here's his famed VTuber report, a very extensive rant about what happened to him, and it all boils down to pet pics, aka Asia the food, about which he got really offended. The VTuber report. Before we go any further, let's just say how it is. If it was someone else, the issue would still be taking place. They're only mad at me because I'm speaking about it. If it was the Quarterling or Kotaku, the matter would be disastrous for VTubers as a whole. They're extremely fortunate this hasn't gotten to the point yet. Also, we've been in agreement that Silvervale's actions are extremely troubling for the conventions we work with. I'm going to skip what she has done and get to the rest of the VTubers I have interacted with. Within the email I will be sending you, are unedited screenshots of each event that can be put together. There will be no redaction from at any time, including myself. You also have access to any of my publicly available social media platforms as promised. To begin, I want to ask people this question. If you take away the person you're angry about, do you still have the same problem? So far, we all agreed that VTubers will still have the same question from what I have heard from many sources. The group I'm sending this to and many on the side of VTubers. What should be troubling isn't what happened, but how everyone has treated it. In many people's cases, they don't find any of these actions to be any big deal at all. However, some of these actions that I have found are very serious, and in our line of work would end up costing both financially and with our reputation. You know, this is biased on Dave Hinken-Pros, the former co-chair of San Japan Words, but not being able to find guests that are POC or people of color. His stepping down of the convention was something that we weren't surprised about since the message I got on my YouTube video talking about San Japan. You saw how arrogant they were in 2016, the year they both removed me from the staff for calling out Justin Sacrifice actions about International Sailor Moon Day and the removal of Old Man Spice Guy, a well-known black cosplayer from the convention. The firestorm from the event seemed to carry over until now. Again, the guy is trying to tie everything together, that the repercussions of Silvervale's Discord server having pets, aka Asian food, as a channel will have this snowball effect on the convention circuit, and everything is gonna fall apart because insensitive joke. We agree that Silvervale has allowed on her Discord server the same kind of action, only there seem to only be the removal of a mod for this action. The problem is, as you are aware, Silvervale is by default the administrator of their own Discord server. They would have plenty of time to consider the chat topic known as Asian food, aka pet pics, as offensive or insensitive and they did not. As you know, my interactions with Project Melody did not occur until February of 2020. My first interactions with Silvervale came only a month later. My YouTube video was about 3 months after that. In other words, at the very least, we can access, we can access that Silvervale and her mod team were aware of the situation for maybe sooner than that. Again, he has like the highest of his videos on his channel in all of his career has like a couple of hundred views, like not even 200 views. And the fact that he assumes that anyone watched his shit is funny as hell, because I don't think he was that notable for them to watch his very long rant videos about one particular insensitive joke. Where did I leave off? Also, Project Melody did the confabulation with Silvervale in May of the same year, with some of Project Melody's own staff on Silvervale's Discord server. This means there would have been no way that Project Melody didn't have at least some awareness of this taking place, or at least her mods. We can only assume that Project Melody willingly chose to ignore this, or at worst, also think that there was no real issue of the Discord server's topic in question. The only other option would be that Project Melody mods did not think this was an issue as well. It's not enough to make them complacent, but it's very negative look on the group as a whole. Staying with these two for a moment, there's one person who's mod for multiple VTubers that have been massively complaining about, including other VTubers, Kuro Usagi. I have spoken to him a few times, and the impression he gives off, he's super defensive and most of the time not willing to take any responsibility for anything he's done. In your email, you will find one instance that I was given directly from Magical Mystic VA from whom stated that Kuro Usagi was rather rude to her during one of her streams. He's been very bluntly and liability. I've heard a lot of other minor things about him, mostly the same problems. Too defensive, hostile when you're trying to challenge whoever he's modding for, insensitive to anyone's feelings. However, one incident bothers me the most. Apparently, he went to a Japanese VTuber and directly complained about her lack of English skills. That VTuber has asked me to withhold their name. I don't think he's been in contact with any Japanese VTuber. I think he likes to invent his connections. It really seems that way. He's very insular, but he thinks he isn't. Although I cannot confirm this myself, that would be the second said instance of Kuro Usagi directly conflicting with a VTuber in some way. What bothers me the most would be in the Athena Iris Discord server, where to my understanding he's a mod there, but there really isn't to do anything at all. A lot of people question why he's even a mod there. Also, in your email, you will find there when I directly told Kuro Usagi he had become a liability. Too many problems with not enough positives around him. Kuro Usagi is one of the moderators that bothers me, but there are plenty more that should be noted as well. Digitrex, the person who created Project Melody's 3D model, has shown himself to be extremely hostile to people who criticize him as well. This is actually true. I don't know if any of you are aware at this point. It's been a long time since that drama, but Digitrex and Project Melody had a falling out over Melody's model and monetization, who owes who what money. It was all a very big misunderstanding, and the conclusion of that was that both parties were kind of to blame. I don't want to get too much into this because I don't want to get details wrong at this point. I remember that to some extent, but again, it was such a long time ago that I really don't want to get into this right now. You can look it up. That's a thing I also covered at one point in time. So if you're interested in that particular drama, you can always look up my my Twitter account. Attached to this email is a message from another VTuber named Cosmic Faith. In short, Digvrek accused the person of stealing another of his models. However, only provided vague at best information about this case, and of course, the total look Cosmic Faith chose was similar in some ways, but didn't look like a one-to-one copy. She eventually got a different model, but you can say that Digitrex bullied her into chanting things. Another moderator of a VTuber that bothers me is Iswold, someone who's a mod for Isabella Electrum. He himself hasn't done anything wrong per se. However, he seems to know a lot more than anyone else. They sent me messages about how the whole topic in Silvervale's Discord server started. According to him, it was done by a mod who thought it was a joke. He apparently knows about the issue, but seems to be unwilling to speak up about it until pressed to do so. Another moderator that I'm worried about is the Lonely Outlaw, someone who's pretty much Athena Iris' main mod. He himself doesn't seem like a bad guy, but his moderating style isn't overbearing as anyone else. I don't have an attachment to show you, but going on to Athena Iris' Discord server, he wrote rules so lengthy that it's impossible to keep up with. Also, it's stated they have no problem with demanding that conversation be moved from a PG-rated area to an NC-17 area, even though it's clear that the server is for people 18 years or older. I'd like to say that the last part isn't typical, however it's been done on many other adult streamers' discords, Project Melodies included. So it doesn't really matter who's a mod or what their intentions are, they constantly make you uneasy posting in their areas. So, in short, the too long didn't read part of that. He's upset that that there are mods that are overbearing, at least according to him. But from what I gathered from what he means here is that he's upset that the rules are too lengthy, and things don't make sense to him, and the mods stay in their areas, and that bothers him immensely. Why? Because he's histrionic like that. Now for some other T-tubers of note to be concerned over. As some of you know, I was planning on working on a speedrun competition between who is known as Ayumi Onesan and Isabella Electrum. Both, as you know, we agreed on before cannot be trusted after not making the prior arrangement meeting, even after we tried to continue to work through things. It seems that both have been trying to avoid responsibility for that day. I also looked that up. They didn't have any falling out. It's just scheduling mishaps. And considering he was like the middleman in organizing that, he got butthurt that it fell through, and now both of them cannot be trusted to do anything. Isabella Electrum has tried to say that the issue was the meeting itself, as you are aware. It isn't the meeting alone, it was the agreement to be there. As for Ayumi Onesan, her Plexstorm name Echi Yin has not seemed to be active since her separation from Balulak Young. I'm not going to speculate why the separation took place, however, there has been no official statement from either Echi Yin or Plexstorm about why she hasn't been active. Plexstorm was, or maybe still is, a streaming platform, and why he mentions this, why this is any of his business, why someone is streaming or not, or why the platform itself has to make a statement why someone isn't streaming on it is baffling to me, and I question why he put it in there. But again, he makes very outlandish points that I haven't seen any other person make about VTubers thus far. Like, I know it's been like 3 years since he made any of this, but having seen all of these VTuber antis in action, he's the only one that stands out in this way for making all of these ridiculous arguments that make very little sense to anybody but himself. Also, to finish things off, in your emails you will see a statement Isabella Electrum sent to Magical Mystic VA as well. Again, he like made an email newsletter that he sent to these people that were added in that Twitter thread, and considering nothing came of it, he was most likely like completely wholesale ignored by everyone. Speaking of Magical Mystical VA, there's a problem with her as well. As you know, I have been upfront about Silvervale's issues. The problem is that Magical Mystic VA, a self-admired vegetarian, pretty much, like, what does that have to do with anything? Pretty much told me that I should be the one to apologize. I did mention her in one of my videos, and then people started to attack me based on what I said about Silvervale, and then tried to get Magical Mystic VA to look good because of it. In your email attachment, you will see 2 different posts. One from Magical Mystic VA, another from Problem Solver. Problem Solver is like a burner account someone made to troll him, like basically told him to fuck off, and he took that very seriously as a threat. Who stated I was wrong for posting the video. Another message from the VTuber Jenny Starverling says that my rants are conspiracy theories, when, as you know, I have provided direct evidence to say otherwise. But what you would say, what would you take away from this is that no one holds Silvervale accountable. Even Ayumi Onesan, when Silvervale was banned from Twitch for her lewd actions, even said that Silvervale did nothing wrong multiple times. That banning got reversed pretty fast, by the way. Getting temporarily banned from Twitch for quote-unquote lewd behavior, showing something provocative, is very commonplace, and it's reversed almost instantly nowadays. And even 3 years ago, this wasn't too much of an issue. Even now, it seems that VTubers are trying to protect Silvervale's actions rather than take a stand against such racist comments. Again, this is all about that stupid fucking Discord channel called Pets aka Asian Food. He'll be mentioning this a lot, so bear with me and bear with him as well, please. Even with the statement above, it gets worse, believe it or not. Attached to your email as well is a Twitter post from Ari Lambert, a VTuber who's not as popular but has a very hostile nature from my interactions with them. On their Twitter post, they clearly find issue with the competition. I had planned for Ayumi Onesan and Isabella Rectrum, thinking of that as a negative without even trying to understand what's going on. That alone would be cause for concern, but the point they made from before, that the statement that someone is pure evil on a public post on their Twitter feed. Ari Lambert didn't give a name, but I'm thinking it has to do with me personally, with that pure evil comment. Making matters worse, after confronting a fan of Athena Iris, who came to my Twitter page named Soki, he went on to state because of my actions that I shouldn't be involved with not just VTubers, but Twitch as well. He has no right to complain about anyone using any platform, as he is not a mod, a VTuber, or a part of Twitter's staff at the time he wrote that statement. Ari Lambert is someone who's also kinda infamous. Well, kinda. This is from a post that I deleted because she asked for it, and considering what it was, obliging her on it was the only right course of action I could think of. But let me give you the context of the situation here. Ari Lambert, I think she's still around, but she has been acting kind of aggressive in recent years on Twitter, and she gets into a lot of fights with a lot of people. At one point, Ari was accused of being a man by some rando, and in all of her wisdom, to prove that she isn't a man, she took a nude photo of her vagina and spread it and posted it on Twitter. It made rounds. She felt instantly stupid. Well, instantly, and by instantly I mean 5 hours later, when all of that circulated around the internet. That thing is deleted, thank God. I censored it when I first posted it. It kind of is like a prequel to that VTuber that posted her stapled vagina shot, and also had a similar meltdown. But you know, it was what it was. It's only tangentially related to this guy. But I just wanted to tell you guys that story because it's one of those unique VTuber experiences that you don't get anywhere else. Stapled vagina, you heard that right? If you look up stapled vagina on a Twitter search on my account, you'll find it. You'll find a censored version of that. At least I spared you the gory details. So if you're interested in seeing that, knock yourself out. I don't want to, and I hope you guys don't want to do that either. But again, it's on you, not on me at that point. Let's continue with this nonsense. Let me break down what's wrong with VTubers into 5 different groups, as well as my personal recommendation to convention staff. This is key, once again, tries to tie all of this to the convention circuit for whatever reason, like this will have any sort of effect on their appearance during conventions. Like he has any sort of power to change that. The group that has done something wrong yet tries to cover it up or pretend it wasn't their fault. Silvervale, Ayumi Onesan, Isabella Electrum. All three above are ban-worthy, no question. Silvervale racist topic is a no-brainer. If anyone said that at an anime convention, they would be removed fast. Ayumi Onesan hasn't bothered to work out her partnership with Plexstorm, so she can't be trusted at all. It's really none of his business, but he keeps mentioning that partnership with Plexstorm. Isabella Electrum's problem is simply not even trying to fix any kind of working relationship, if any. But then she goes around trying to blame others for her own actions anyway. The elitists who don't... He wanted to say elitists. Who don't care about anyone else. Project Melody, Iron Mouse, Zintreya. Yeah, you know, Iron Mouse, the person that pretty much loves everyone, her friends, and is generally a very good person outwardly. She's an elitist, according to this guy. Although not ban-worthy, none of them seem to care to fix whatever problems there are. They seem to ignore the issues. Worse, they are doing nothing to change the perception of the VTubers are cringy. They may draw people to convention, but they may also draw people away. It depends. The one who'd rather complain about people talking against the negatives do nothing, but rather support the negatives. Magical Mystic VA, Jenny Starverling. Depends on the context here. Both are borderline for no reason. Neither said what Silvervale did is bad. They'd rather not offend her. And guys, do remember, Silvervale had nothing to do with that channel being named the way it was named. It was one of her mods that did that, but all of the blame this guy is passing on to Silvervale for that one particular reason. It's too much of a risk if you ask me, but you may do what you want with them. I still recommend they state clearly what Silvervale's actions were cannot be allowed. Jesus Christ, this guy types like I speak. The super overbearing moderators that make being a viewer of a stream or on a social media platform almost impossible to do. Kuro Usagi, Digitrirex, the Lonely Outlaw. Kuro Usagi is too much of a liability and extremely hostile. Easy ban-worthy actions in attacking other VTubers. The same could be said about Digitrirex, as he had no right to bully anyone, let alone another VTuber. The Lonely Outlaw, I'm not sure. I think he means well, but his thought is whatever. I should not protect my waifu. I should do whatever I should do to protect my waifu, Athena Iris. Not ban-worthy, but raises a red flag that he won't let anyone criticize them. The people willingly attack you for little to no reason. Ari Lambert, Soki, problem solver. Ari Lambert can't go around calling people evil on social media without proof. Ban-worthy, Soki had no right to say what they wanted to do. Not ban-worthy, but dangerous in the wrong place. Problem solver is just an idiot. Ignore them. Ari Lambert can go around calling people evil. I read that already. There were only 3 VTubers who said anything against Silvervale's topic. One of which has asked me to withhold their name, the Japanese VTuber. I don't think he knows Japanese, or... I think he made this up, by the way. I think he's just lying. But I can say that here on this report, the other 2 are Athena Iris and Hentai Soda. Otherwise, haven't heard anyone else say anything good or bad, other than who's in this report. To sum up what I can, there's a few bad qualities with most VTubers. They think they are untouchable, as they rarely show their real faces. They show blind loyalty to each other, even if that someone has done is malicious or immoral. If you guys know anything about what I do, you know how VTubers don't show, usually, at least the ones that I cover, they show very little loyalty to one another, and those that think of each other as best friends, at least outwardly, later on write lengthy tweetlongers about how they were mistreated and abused by their so-called friends. So yeah, his judgment about VTubers being loyal to one another is completely off the mark. They show blind loyalty to each other, even if that someone has done is malicious or immoral. They lack any kind of empathy, not caring at all for the people who watch their streams, or even care to find out what they're able to do. And above all else, rarely tend to be active with their own communities, avoiding any kind of understanding who their audience is. In a performance job, this is vital as it allows you to understand what works and what doesn't. To explain what his problem here is, he kind of mentions this in his videos, which we're gonna watch anyway, but he thinks that the VTubers that have a huge following should be active on Discord and participate with their communities on Discord. Like, you know, they're streamers, they shouldn't just be streaming, they should be interacting with your audiences also on Discord. And he stresses that Discord presence so much. It's like the VTubers should only be on Discord, and streaming is like a supplement to the profession. But the one word I would use to define the VTuber community as a whole is spiteful. That's one thing I can agree with him on. Even in 2020, there have been signs of people being very spiteful. I have seen personally a massive amount of hate to anything that isn't the main people at the top. It's not likely that you will ever find a lot of good-natured people in this group, and it never seems to get better. All VTubers have people in power that are hateful to anyone but themselves, while new VTubers keep bringing in people who you can't reason with. My overall suggestion: do not work with them, at least within this group. It would be wiser if you find someone willing to be a VTuber. Make the whole group they work with less of a controlling, hateful organization, and try to start over with an organic surge that can rival that of those already popular. So basically, get popular. I don't know how. Otherwise, the hatefulness and people's views of finding VTubers cringy will never end. Not going to lie, what VShojo official team members have said and done to me and my team, I'm going to be watching all of their actions extremely closely. And I already heard enough from the few people who talk to them, let alone who is still talking. You know, I hate to say this, but there are a lot of VTubers who have this sense of entitlement. This is already moving on like a year, like 2 years after he made the tweet longer and those infamous videos that are on our watch list. He doesn't post much on Twitter, but most of his things are rants about VTubers, sports, and the convention circuit, and all of it is very accusatory and unhinged. You know, I hate to say this, but there are a lot of VTubers who have this sense of entitlement over the VTuber tag itself. People are abusing the tag. I'm sorry, Twitter. People do that. Likewise, I don't recall tags being owned by any one group. That being said, when do VTubers look at the other side of things? The supporters who generally want to be helpful tend to get ignored, constant, or worse. Such in the case of Silvervale or Hentai VTuber, outright insulted. And don't think I've forgotten either. This is again 2 years later, he's still holding a grudge for getting banned off Silvervale's Discord server. Now, if you're a good VTuber, I'll be more than happy to support you. And yes, that includes those who aren't mainstream. I can't watch every one of them, but I'll bring up the good ones when I see them. And I'll bring up any, because he doesn't want to watch any. Is he based? He's based in another realm of reality, for sure. Like, the guy sometimes makes very good points. Like, they seem lucid, but then he goes on a ridiculous, like, almost insane rant about people, and gets extremely paranoid about a lot of things. But yeah, we luckily got through most of the reading parts. I can rest my throat. Let me take a sip, and then we can get to the meat of this thing, which are his rant videos. Okay, have to sadly silence this music because he's His audio quality isn't very good.
Hello everyone, I'm
Hold up.
Plasmawarrior.
This is the first video, and it's called VTubers: the best worst things to happen to streaming. A rant.
Hello everyone, I'm Plasmawarrior, as me like to call me, that guy with the afro. Maybe I got too bright of a light back there.
The light becomes its own character. He never fixes that. It always glares in your fucking eyes and almost blinds you. I fixed this video a bit. I reduced the brightness because otherwise you just kind of go blind at one point. So I did you that favor, chat. Be thankful.
Oh well. Anyway, this is gonna be one of those videos. Should be aware right now if you're sensitive to language, crude humor, and me just saying fuck off. This is the video for you. Anyway, to the point. Lately, as you know, I've been a pretty big fan of a certain VTuber. I mean, you might have heard of her. It's not really that big of a deal. Like Project Melody, maybe you've come across her once in a while. But generally speaking, I've learned something across most VTubers that is actually pretty bad stuff. And no, this isn't going to target one specific VTuber. That's for another video. I will name out loud what happened. Let's just say the me dance was not a good thing to show on your stream. Seriously, though, to the point, ladies and gentlemen, of why I'm even discussing this, I've noticed a bit of an issue amongst a lot of VTubers lately, and most importantly, about everything I've seen so far. They have three common flaws across most of them. So I want to go ahead and stress this now. This is not me saying I like every VTuber. Melanie Suika, I absolutely despise the living hell out of you, Silvervale. But that is all beside the point what I'm about to say here. It could not be any more important to notice the three things that have gone on. The first thing that's gone on that I really don't understand is, and this is across the board, this isn't generally just one VTuber, all of them do this same problem. You know, Discord is an extension of who you are. It's an extension of what you want to present yourself to be. It's a
He fucking loves Discord.
good way to fans interact with you. In fact, it's actually one of the few places in the universe where you can go one-on-one and chat with everybody. The only person that has been able to do more on their Discord than they have their actual stream is Iron Mouse. Bravo. But for the most part, they all treat it like it's a secondary goddamn who needs this kind of deal. Don't believe me? Go ahead and take a look at any one of them, generally speaking. Heck, Project Melody might actually be the biggest offender. How many times have you seen her actually do anything in her Discord? Once. One time. That's it. Everyone else is just there, it's just there
Those pesky fucking streamers streaming to their audiences, not being on Discord.
to announce whatever you're doing. And although I understand you're not supposed to be on Discord 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, at least give us something to go off of. This is why I quit going to Tara Babcock's Discord server when I actually donated to her Patreon. She was never there. Lily Pichu is too cliquish for me to get involved with. So this is a problem.
Or he also has a rant video about Lily Pichu, but I don't want... we shouldn't watch that one because it's really, really fucking stupid.
A lot of people share across the board. It's not just one person or one VTuber or even one YouTuber or one Twitch streamer. Everyone's done it. Everyone has the same issue. Please fix it. I don't care if you like people or not. At least do something where we can relate to you. That's been very difficult with these people in Discord. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say they've actually, in some cases, been detrimental to the community. I'll get on that community thing in a moment, where you can't really be able to be as creative or world building as I'd like to be in the circumstances that are presented to you. I don't understand how the flipping hay somebody with as much roleplay experience and convention background as I do feels absolutely lost at a Discord like that. Honestly, if you want any kind of people, you need to interact. And you need to do it on a consistent basis. You don't have to do it 24/7, but maybe 3 or 4 times a week. Have a chat with them on voice.
Yeah, but he's basically wants senpai to notice him, and it doesn't work out for him very well, as you noticed already.
I haven't seen a lot of VTubers do that either. Yeah, I get it. You're supposed to be here on your Twitch or your whatever, and that makes you money, but it's not going to do anything for me. I'm just going to move along. And I get the whole raiding culture, bravo, but raids alone don't get me interested in somebody else's stream. Getting to a point, though, number 2 is that as much as I understand this community thing and I'm not against it, why the hell is anyone ever doing anything to build it? Where is the uplifting of somebody else? I mean, a few names do pop up, maybe the problem is they're also big names. You've already seen them before. You've already heard Good Luck Yen talk about blah, blah, blah. And then Iron Mouse goes off to say hello to this person. But what about the small people? I mean,
What about me? Why didn't you tell hi to me?
I actually would not understand or care about Sickly Momo on 90% of what she is. She's a cutesy wootsy magical girl. Blah, normally, right? Actually, quite the opposite. She's very engaging and I like just how much fun she has. That's something we want to get into when I get to point number 4-ish, kind of a relationship with point number 3. But generally speaking, when you're not able to bring somebody else up, it brings them to a point where why would I want to bother watching you? I mean,
Yeah, please, streamers, please address every single individual separately so they can feel better about themselves.
I'm not looking for advertisement. Heck no. I'm just one guy in a bedroom with his webcam. But seriously, community never seems to connect with people who are on the lower end trying to move up. For instance, um, I don't know how many of you have actually seen Jenny Starveling. The review I made was pretty much, as she said, accurate, even though she agreed there were some faults to her that need to get worked out. But as incredible as they are, nobody's paying much attention to her in the VTuber community, and I don't understand why. Yes, I
'Cause she doesn't stream much.
get it. It's a universal thing that everybody has to do with their own. Understandable. But then again, if you're so, where I get to point number 3, of that nature, why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you making the community a better place for other people to come and see their talent? I call this, I'm not going to name the voice actor, but a prominent voice actor in anime once told a story at a convention how there was their first time at a con. They were so impressed with everybody's art design and craft building and cosplay. They're like, I compare them to any stage production I've ever been on. And my first thought about that was, well, if that's the case, why don't you hire them? I mean, this is a problem I have with Delta HCon. There's so much talent in Houston alone that you don't need to go out and spend $5,000 just flying somebody in from another part of the country. Why not have them? Just saying. Oh, wait. They ended up trashing the name of Jesse Persico. Why would anybody want to join that group? There's a round of them coming up later too this week. Just saying. Generally speaking, there are people who are just as capable as you, and you never really do anything with them. And that's another annoying point about a lot of things. The third issue I have, and let me make it very clear, I don't mind community again. I really appreciate what the community is, and I appreciate what people do in this community. As like myself, I do conventions a lot. I have some contacts that I could get people in the door for as a guest. Just saying.
Again, he vastly overestimates his influence, and that's pretty much apparent with how little interaction he's ever gotten from anyone. And I'm not just talking about Twitter. Like more than anything, he's just seen as a nuisance, and him flexing his contacts is just probably fucking not even remotely true.
What the fucking dignity fell is going on when you absolutely say, oh, but I love
He's from Texas, by the way.
everyone. Look, I'm a fan of idols. Even I wouldn't go near somebody who keeps constantly saying lovey-dovey happiness. Because you know what? It disgusts the hell out of me. It's cringeworthy at best, annoying at worst, and even more painful. It doesn't get me anywhere. I mean, you can love and be happy-go-lucky, everything out there, but I've been through this before. The one problem I can say
Idols
every
aren't for
VTuber
you.
seems to have, for the most part, is this: we love you so much, other person that VTubes. Okay, great. Does nothing for me. I'm one guy in his bedroom with a webcam again. Hello? What am I getting? Nothing.
What about me?
I don't VTube because I want you to know who the hell I am. This guy right here. I don't want to be some big celebrity name that has to have his phone number unlisted. But for God's sakes, if I'm me, I'm telling you to you as me. That way you get nothing fake from me. You get no editing. You get no cheapness. Someone can say, well, you said this, and I take you out of contest, do it like I am CNN, and put you like that. And congratulations, that's what Trump said. No, the point I'm trying to make here is simple. I mean, I am basically not a community guy. I know it sounds crazy, but I really like producing, doing the groundwork, laying out foundations. I don't like being lovey-dovey. And the problem is, one VTuber all of a sudden loves some other VTuber, and they're so happy-go-lucky, and they love this person, and everyone's cheering for Brian, and it pisses me off! Really, if you want that kind of attitude, go watch the Care Bears! Ah! Seriously, I don't mind
Hard
being that
rage.
way, but when you sugarcoat it so much, it's sickening. Yeah, I'm just gonna watch something else. Quite the opposite of this seems to be Isabel Electrum, who's basically, screw you, I'm a yandere. Ah, I don't really care, but it's just the standoffish nature of some is actually refreshing. I know, right? It's weird. I gravitate more to people who rather be real. I don't go out and talk about community this. I don't go out and say I love you 5 times a minute. I want who you are. And that's the biggest problem across the board with a lot of people. I get a lot of fakeness. A lot of fakeness from VTubers. It's an act for the most part, and it's disturbing.
He really doesn't understand what VTubers are, and he has like very selfish expectations of what a VTuber is supposed to be.
I will say this because even though G4, rest in peace, screwed up entirely by ruining all of its game content, it had one thing that it did right. I don't necessarily go to watch people playing games. I want to watch personalities. I want to watch people who talk about the industry and video gaming. I want to talk to people who generally tell me more about who they are than let's just watch another stream of playing Scribble. Look, the less fake you are, the less you deal with icons and flashy animations, the more I actually want to watch of you because I see more of you.
See, like I told you, he makes lucid points, but then everything else is just really fucking strange and over the fucking top.
That I do the presentation. If I wanted another presentation, I just go to another con and watch another set of anime subs.
He almost said titties, but almost slipped out.
And those of you who know me, I don't watch anime subs quite often. Look, you can be as loving and kind as you want to, but if it doesn't really reflect who is watching you, if you're not connecting with them, no matter what, you're not going to get very far.
Oh yeah, you mentioned the chat. You've been mentioning LootTubers. Yeah, he's connected to a lot of LootTubers as well. I think even right now on a different account, he's promoting an alternative HentaiCon. HentaiCon, something that was canceled like 2 years ago, something like that. And I think he's one of the administrators of something that's supposed to be a replacement for it. So yeah, he has a lot of attachments to that scene. So you're not wrong about that.
And quite frankly, that's my biggest issue. Where is the connection been? It hasn't really been there. And I get it. Not everyone's gonna like you. I don't like a lot of VTubers. Heck, few of them that I saw this cat girl one a few days ago, and it was just they were chatting, and it was really, really fucking stupidly boring as shit. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to doze off there. Seriously though.
Considering he only watches like VShoujo adjacent VTubers, he probably meant the others. Because he's only watching popular people and people who give him attention. That's the only thing he does watch.
I've always said this, I'll say it again. I don't follow blogs. I don't follow channels. I follow personalities. I follow people who will chat with me, who will give me a little bit of insight of what they're doing. Quite frankly, that must mean, generally speaking, you should all go subscribe to Jenny Starveling's Twitch stream right now. But I'm sorry, just yes, that's how amazing they are. Okay, they're not just an adult cam model. Deal with it. A lot of people have side businesses and side work, and they'd like to do that too. Actually, wouldn't usually watch Subnautica if it weren't for the fact that Jenny Starveling was there. I don't care about sandbox games. I'm serious. Like I said, I don't watch the game, I watch the personality. And sandboxy games are literally the one thing I avoid like the plague. So, generally speaking, community, great. Just be a good personality. Be good at interacting with your fans, and I'll probably stick around and watch you. Or you could basically be completely boring, non important, and I just say, screw it. Let me watch reruns of Weather Channel.
This is what some people think I am. Like when people that don't read my account describe me, they usually describe me as what this guy is supposed to be. If I ever turn into this guy, I will just commit Minecraft.
Hey, don't diss old school 90s Weather Channel now. That stuff was great. The stuff they got on now, I don't have cable and I don't really care for the Weather Channel anymore. So, in that being said, I do care about you guys watching me, and I hope I got you something interesting and at least conversational going. Hopefully, some things will help the VTuber community in general. That being said, help me out by donating to my PayPal at plasmawarrior2002 at gmail.com, or like, sharing, and subscribing to this channel. I've got one more video coming up, and that's going to be about Houston area conventions. The VTuber video that I was talking about, 95.5 doing it. I'm probably going to have to edit a few things out now because some things have changed, but the core message is still the same. And yes, if the baseball season ever gets started, we will be having that Astros fan rant. But until next time, later.
How do you like him, chat? He's pretty special, isn't he? And isn't even the worst of him. This is just the beginning. We have how many more videos to go through? Hold up. The next one is called VTubers, the dark secret they don't want you to know. Guess what the dark secret is, chat? Like, I bet you won't guess. What's the dark secret?
Hello, everyone. I'm Plasmawarrior, as many like to call me, that guy with the afro. And I honest to God wish that video was clickbait. Because quite frankly, if it were, it would not be nearly as important as I was going to do last time. Now, in the last video, I discussed something on the terms of one other VTuber. I can't even remember their name. It's inconsiderately unimportant right now. But what I mean by this is that I actually had gone through and done some
Yeah, the
research.
light is still
And the
there on the
research
left.
I've done over the last
Never
maybe,
leaves.
well, 2 to 3 days tells me there's a problem with the VTubers as a general instance. Now, allow me to make it very clear. I don't care if you like me or not. That is irrelevant. I don't
It's
care
just
if you
like
think
me.
I'm kidding about this. I'm going to do what I'm going to deal with, and that's that. Whether it is you or another convention does not matter. The fact that you think that causing drama is a problem, well, unfortunately, I have to deal with what I've got to deal with. Now, on that video, that picture, I'm not kidding when I say what I just said. If you saw that text underneath the picture, that is legitimately what I'm about to show you. Now, granted,
The
let
dark
me start
secret.
off with the realistic point of view here, if I shall.
He's building it up.
Last week, I've gone through and looked at a ton of different problems within the VTuber community, and I come down to one name, Silvervale. Why is that? Because two things happened. First thing is a little bit more public and
The
open and
devil.
honest. And that was that Silvervale was at the time banned from basically using the context of Twitch for a few days because they were apparently violated policy. I hate to say this, but that apparently, no, it actually was a fact. They violated a policy that said that you could not expose your buttocks at all during any point in your stream for whatever reason. And thus, we get down to the point of everyone defending them, everyone saying, oh, Silvervale did nothing wrong. When I actually look at it, that's the problem. Silvervale's ban was justified, and everyone was like, well, screw this. No big deal, right? Well, that would have been the case, except for I started looking in some details about some of these VTubers. Now, allow me to make it very clear that's problem number one. There are plenty more coming, and it's across the board. This does include Project Melody. So, what happened? What actually
He's talking about it like he discovered the Lolita Express or some shit.
went on? Well, let's start off with the first problem. Silvervale's banning was justified. I don't have my general blah blah blah, so I have to do shaky cam. Ooh, shaky cam, low budget
This is gonna
YouTube
be good.
stuff. So let's go over here and let me send you to her Discord. This is her Discord, and
Instead of streaming this through OBS, he decides to do this roundabout shit.
wow, that's not subtle at all.
Uh,
Oh no, that's not reason to be bannable, except for when I come over here, I know it's a little hard to see and it might be flipped for you guys. It says Asian food, Hex Pix, aka Asian food. And let me make it very, see if I
Can
can't
you
give you a
call
better
it
look
stuff?
at it. There we go. Yeah, it's flipped around. I on my end at least. I know you can probably see it. I have like a flippy here, flippy there. Let me go ahead and just click off of that and click off onto this. I'm sorry. But generally, back to it, back to it. There we go. And I got to rotate this around a bit. Hold on a second. There we go. Let me go ahead and rotate that. Flip it around. Doesn't really matter. Rotate, rotate. I apologize. Low budget YouTubing for the win.
Like no brain YouTubing.
Okay.
More like. What the
You know
fuck is
what?
he trying to do?
Let me just open it up in Paint and flip it around for you.
Like
So
he
you can
really
see what I'm
thinks
talking about.
that
Give
this
me
is
one
flipped
moment.
for
Again, low
for
budget
people.
YouTubing. This is one guy in his bedroom with a webcam. Let me go ahead and rotate.
He thinks the image is flipped, whereas it's
Flip
not
horizontal.
really. I don't know why he's thinking that.
Right.
The
Rotate
camera isn't the
vertical.
mirror.
Okay, this is crazy. I apologize.
You'll see the solution he'll come up with.
Well, anyway, let's take a look at it now, if I may. I am so sorry for the usual low budget stuff, but my thing didn't want to work
It's
right
not a
with
budget issue.
OBS. Anyway, blah blah blah. We'll get to that.
It's
Let's
no
move
upside
it
down.
back over here. This is going to be the same picture. Now that I see I can show you, it's going to be right over there.
It's
Maybe I should
mirrored
get it
and upside
upright. I
down.
am so sorry, but it's right over here, and you can see it says pet pics, aka Asian food.
It's
And
fucking-
quite frankly,
it's mirrored.
this is one of those things that I have to go and say, even though it might be a joke.
Like at this point, I was thinking he's
Yeah.
trolling, but he's
One,
quite
that's
serious.
pretty racist, and I don't care what anyone says. I've tried to divide this 5,000 different ways, and honestly, it's all the same. Racist, racist, racist. If not, at the very least, insensitive as a joke. Two, what we got with the blah 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 virus, I can't say out loud,
COVID.
quite frankly, bluntly puts out the fact that this person basically didn't really care what was going on at the time. I mean, I joined that server and left it in the span of 3 weeks, so big deal that. And it's still going on, by the way. Three, no matter if I don't have the racist ant to it, that's insensitive and basically inhumane. Terribly stupid, incredibly short-sighted. I can't believe somebody would ever go out and say it that way
Can't believe it.
to the history of humanity. Why would you go and say anything of the sort and expect something not
Can't
to be
believe
said
it. The name
about
in the
this?
chat like
And
that.
I'm having a very freaking hard time thinking of Lily Pichu eating their pet Snizu. I love that adorable Kolji.
Fuck.
Fuck you, Silvervale! Here's where we come down to the dilemma. That's just the starting point. Here's what every single person decides to do. They basically hero worship her to no end. The banning alone was stupid, but trying to become insensitive to people of a different race, yeah, fuck you. That's only part number one. That's the scary thing. And this is the ironic, dark twist of fate that people think they have. You know, as you can probably tell, I have ways of getting through everything. What did I say in my last video and a few previous ones? You cannot simply remove yourself.
Again, this guy is prime lolcow material. The fact that he wasn't discovered by anybody but me and like 3 other individuals that somehow know about him is his lucky break, I guess.
From anyone's good graces in Discord or email or whatever. They find a way. And of course, I have 8,000 different ways of doing it. You can say blah, 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 but we get down to the nuts and bolts. I've been doing this for decades. Are you kidding me? People have done it to me. Who do I? That's why I say you treat everyone like they're Donald Trump 3.5. Unless they break a rule or whatever the heck have you. You don't say anything about negativity at all. Now, I'm going to show you what this rule is, and hopefully it will work better this time. I know I have a pretty mid webcam, but I'll go ahead and get to the point. This rule is pretty much universal. And
Like, he's been streaming for several years, and his YouTube career dates back 14 years ago, and he still didn't learn how to switch from scene to scene. That's why all of this shaky cam stuff even happened. He can't switch to a scene where he just shows his screen being recorded, you know, like any normal person would do. He's that kind of guy that has a phone and takes pictures of his screen with a phone to show people on Twitter.
And it says pretty much, here's one I'm going to... The usual
Again.
rigmarole of... Yeah. I'm sorry, give me a moment. Again, low budget YouTubing for the win. Ooh. Low budget. Very low budget. So let's go ahead and get this up. I see where I'm at. I also see this inverted. I apologize. that no, not gonna show you that. Don't need to show you that. Basically, that blah 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 blah. Here's the rule set. And this is across the board. This is the same real conditions. Basically, they say, if you don't mind,
Yeah, those are probably his nails. At least they look like them.
that do not go and talk bad about everybody else. Okay, that's fine. That's fine with me. You don't have to go ahead and like anybody, but you don't go bad talk anyone else on their server. That's okay. That's a doable, reasonable expectation. But here comes the problem.
I'm so fucking glad I saved these videos. 3 years later, it's paying off.
They're not banning people based on what they do on their Discord servers. Oh no. They've gone and literally threatened banning people based on what you do off of them. In fact, I just got this little message from another said person. Basically, hey, you've been talking about personality. Okay, whatever.
Like, at this point, he's kind of completely incoherent. He doesn't know what point he wants to make.
I don't mind showing you these whole chats. I have all these chats.
I have the recepts chat. I have the wrongdoings documented.
Again, I know it's inverted, but stick with me. This person here, if I may be back to my usual self, I am so sorry, shaky cam. Ooh. This person basically said, just because I've been talking about people, I'm
Basically, he's been banned. That's either Isabella Electrum herself or someone that's her mod. But he basically gets banned for being himself. As you can see, it's very easy to get banned when he is being himself. It's very understandable.
going to basically be kicked from their server because I talked about one person, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah, blah 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 blah. I'm gonna go ahead and close those. It is no longer relevant here.
Because they make him look bad.
Close that. So it's not the only time this has happened, by the way. This is a moderator from Project Melody who's basically saying, you've done it toward other VTubers. We don't really care. It doesn't matter if it's on our Twitch platform or Discord. We basically say we don't care if you do it or not. It doesn't really fucking matter. Well, okay. Except for what happened in my last video. I told people that I was called evil for the things I've done. So I'm not allowed to defend myself.
Not evil, just very dumb.
Either in any platform. They're just gonna block you, block you, block you, block you, block you. Okay. Not like I need
I'd take him over any other person calling others pedophiles on Twitter. He's a lot more amusing.
them anyway. What did I say in the last video? Whenever you think about it, if I'm not afraid to piss off convention after convention after convention, what god helpful choice do you have? Huh? What's your possibility to make me feel afraid of you? Nothing. Honestly, I don't hero worship anybody, not even Donald Trump, so don't give me that crap. Okay, so let's go down the chain of events as they've happened so far. One, we have a person who uses a racist, if not inhumane, at the very minimal,
Name.
insensitive chat box with a opinion that she did nothing wrong, even though she was rightfully banned from Twitch and for a few days, and now you can't say anything on the whole anywhere, or we're going to find you and ban you. Wow, that's pretty fucking authoritarianism, is it? Bullshit. If one person screws up, they should own up to it, and you should at least say, oh yeah, okay, sure, we're sorry. But everyone's basically saying, no, if you even mention us in a bad light, we're gonna ban you everywhere. Well, fuck you, I don't need you anyway. But here's where it really gets grim, folks.
Biting his nails. Just cut them. You saw them on the desk.
This is point number 4. They're basically saying, well, if you talk bad about us, even if we did something wrong. They never said anything about, oh, well, you know what? Maybe we should have reconsidered what you were saying. I mean, I've had people call me evil for the things I did, and I apologize for what I did. But no, nobody, absolutely zero people, have ever said, I'm sorry for what we did to you. No, it's always me, 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 me. Okay, I don't need you.
Where's my apology for being an asshole in your server? Like, what about me?
Here's the honest truth. I don't need any one of you at all. You can complain all you want to. I don't need you. And honestly, I'm going to go ahead and cancel my services to Project Melody anyway. I was going to do that anyhow. So after tomorrow, I'm gone pretty much. So be it. Bottom line is, this also comes out to be a bigger issue. Let's say somebody goes around and basically says, you know what, you're being a jerk. I don't like you. Goodbye. That's bullshit anyway. It's like, oh, well, I'm talking about this. I'm trying to say this and that. Okay.
Self-importances of the
What have you
charts.
done for me? What have you done? What have you done? What have you done? Honestly, most of these VTubers have done nothing. And let me make it clear. This includes Iron Mouse. This includes Silvervale. This includes Project Melody. This includes One-San, whoever. I don't even remember anymore. This includes, I can figure out, it would definitely include Isabella Electrum, but it goes further. It might include Sickly Momo, I don't know. It might include some other people that are smaller, but I know it includes that. The only two people who I have talked about, and they have said, don't worry about it. It's okay. I get it. You're human. You're not trying to go after me. I've done nothing wrong to you. You've done nothing wrong to me. Okay, sure. Are Jenny Starveling and another one, Magical Mystic VA, who's definitely on the rise. Those are the only two VTubers of any kind who are like, sure, you've been good to me, so what? That's the point. None of these people think of themselves as independent contractors. They believe that they are holier than thou, and they don't care about you, and they don't care about what you say, and they're not willing to take criticism. So fucking what? But we get to a dark place in a hypothetical sense. And I pray to God Almighty this doesn't happen. What happens if some of these people do something illegal? I mean, really illegal, if not outright evil, sinister, dark. What happens if one of these people, hypothetically speaking, decides to rob a bank or literal arson a church or synagogue or a mosque? What would happen?
What if VTubers kill somebody? What will you do then, chat? Where will you be? Who will hold them accountable?
God forbid. If one of these people decides they're going to put a bullet through someone's skull, they get rushed into hospital, and that person who got shot flatlines, then what? Are we not allowed to criticize that? Are we not allowed to put that on our streams and our chats? That's going to be big news if somebody does that normally.
Again, he just got banned from a couple of Discord servers. That's his freakout. That's his reasoning. VTubers need to be held accountable, because what if some of them commit a crime? What if chat? What if that happens?
Excuse me a moment. I can't have my reputation
VTuber
even
gang
near
gang.
that thought. I don't care about the rest of you, but I am not going to defend somebody who posts racist stuff, or at least insensitive stuff, who rightfully got banned from Twitch, and everyone's like, oh, it's all nice, happy-go-lucky. No. If somebody were to kill someone, I'd be on the hook for actually going up to saying they're a model character for Twitch. I can't do that. And I can't believe people hero worship so much they ignore this one little factoid. In other words, everyone I just mentioned, besides the two I was talking about who weren't involved, have defended somebody who was banned from Twitch for showing their butt. let's face it, shaking their ass in front of the cam, while being insensitive, if not outright racist or inhumane, and believing that everybody should just go ahead and listen to what they say. Why? Why the hell? It's like this. Take a sports team, for instance. I'm not gonna tell you I supported what the Houston Astros did. They cheated, they got caught, people rightfully were angry at them. But why are you guys advocating for their destruction elsewhere? Why are you guys advocating for them to get hit in the face with baseballs, or if some of them are sending death threats? That is the most stupid way of doing things. Everything that I've seen up to this point tells me stay away from VTubers. They're going to cause so much trouble within each other that if somebody does something wrong, they're all going to be backing them like, ha!
It's quite opposite of what happens. 3 years later, this guy's prophecy is coming true in all the bad aspects of it. At least someone didn't kill anybody yet. I mean, VTuber fans did in Japan, but I think they were VTubers too, but you know, he's still insane. I'm not gonna pretend that he isn't.
No, nothing to see here. Move along, sweep it on the rug, and screw you. However, I do feel bad for one of them. I do, because in the whole instance of public destruction of whatever the hell they've got, I feel really horrible for Bad Luck Liang Yang. Because they're going through a separation and they're not with what was Good Luck Yin. I don't even know her name anymore. I don't care. But he's suffering because he's not with the one he loves. And I understand that firsthand. I lost my fiance a year and a half ago. And for me to not be able to at least talk to her and understand how she's feeling, it hurts me to this day. And even with all the
Like
stupidity
story
that I
time.
just had to go through, all the people saying, if you say anything, we'll ban you because we're authoritarian. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah, imagine getting married to this guy.
gonna say it. Ah, hell, Project Adolf. Melody, all great, almighty. Everyone bow to her. Fuck that. Even with all that, we're still human beings. We still have our reputations, our livelihoods, our jobs to consider. And if you suggest that your job is to basically ignore these problems about us, about our lives, about how we do things, then quite frankly, we might as well just leave. Or even worse, make YouTube videos of one guy in his bedroom with a webcam and plenty of more screenshots than that.
3 years later, that's what I'm doing to him. This guy is a fucking prophet.
Oh, I have tons more. I might just post those up on my Facebook page because you know what? I haven't used that in a while and I really want to use that Facebook page. I'll even
Facebook is gone. Tried to look for it. No traces left.
link it in the description. You can go ahead and
At least from what he's talking about here.
see it. But generally speaking, even after all that, I honestly feel horrible for Bad Luck Yang. He didn't ask for this. He didn't want this. He was lonely when it all happened, and I'm sorry that it did. If anything, I do feel for the human element of that. And whether it's your livelihood or not, I still have my livelihood to deal with. I still have to talk to conventions. I still have to go around telling people what happened. I had to talk to Onicon about what Anime Matsuri and Delta HCon said about me. I have to do it too. And the fact that people consistently think that this is cute to say, well, we're not going to do it. We're just going to do whatever we want, no matter how evil it is.
Genuinely getting upset, close to crying.
No, I can't associate with that. And with that being said, every VTuber except for the two I mentioned are guilty. Do not put your money toward Project Melody. Do not put your money towards Silvervale. Do not put your money toward Iron Mouse. Do not put your money to Isabel Electrum. Do not put your money to any one of these people. They are nothing but trouble in the long term. And I get that you have a livelihood in your job, but this is my livelihood, my reputation, my going to conventions, and my talking to the people out there who put their God hard earned money to go to watch a voice actor, a legitimate voice actor, talk about how they love Vic Mignogna's whatever for
I've never seen a man so invested in his self-victimization to the point where he's making himself cry.
15 minutes. If that bothers you that I'm talking about other people, then I'm sorry. You need to be better. At least work with that person instead of complain about them. Yeah, I've got that too. In all seriousness, I'm going to cancel my Project Melody subscription effective tomorrow after the last thing I'm going to do. I'm going to move off of this and go back to doing what I love to do. Conventions, gaming. I still have the Astros fan rant to talk about. Wait till the season starts. There's going to be more coming.
I haven't watched his sports videos. They're probably just as bad as this.
But you know what? I didn't need them 4 months ago. Why the hell do I need any of them now? Why do you? Why do you need them if they're going to be so dictatorial that if you talk even one thing about them, they will remove you? Why? So
I mean, you called them racist, complicit in being racist, and then you got kicked. That's all that happened.
what? It's not like I can't watch other things on the universe. Huh. Now that I said that, I wonder what else is going to happen. I wonder who's going to come at me next time. Is it going to be another anime convention like San Japan or Anime Matsuri? Is it going to be another superstar, whatever the hell, who wants more money because of blah, blah, blah? However you make your money is up to you. But if you do so maliciously, you get called out for it. And thus, VTubers are getting called out today. In any case, I hopefully won't call out a lot of other things when you like, share, and subscribe. I am still going to go to other conventions. I am still planning on doing Delta HCon, even though that might not look very good. And believe me, the long-awaited Astros fan rant is a-coming. It's a-coming. But despite all this, I'm still human. I still wish Bad Luck Yang all the best. And I hope whatever he's going through,
Yang, gang,
he
gang.
recovers. Until next time, later.
And that's video number 2. Let me take a drink because I've been kind of laughing a bit too much about this. And my throat dried up. We have like 3 more videos to go through. Based or not, chat? Is he based? I should do a poll later on. The next video is titled High-end VTubers apparently hate you, a rant.
Hello, everyone. I'm Plasmawarrior. It's me, they call me that guy with the afro. My apologies for being a little delayed on a few videos. I had to get a tooth extracted this past week. Therefore, things have been slow. I promised this video was coming out, and in the last few weeks, I get a little bit more eerie about having to run this video. But you know what? I was going to do it anyway. I promised it was going to happen, so here we are. And I know a lot of you have hated the last few videos. You know what? I don't care. And yes, it's going to be one of those videos. Don't get me wrong. I planned on actually doing this a while ago. And I'd rather be fair with you. I'd rather be honest, correct, and be hated than be loved, faked, and be completely lying to you. So if you don't like it, I have way more evidence than you think. You have no proof. You don't even know. That's the funny thing. When I showed the proof on the video, somebody said they didn't have any proof of. Yeah, again, you think I don't have any proof? You don't fucking know what I have, dumbasses. So there's your answer to that. So, let's get down to it. I've been studying the behavior of several
I noticed the light is suddenly gone. R.I.P.
VTubers, and quite frankly, it sickens me. It actually kind of disgusts me that people think VTubers are special people. No, they're not. There are very few good ones out there, and even fewer are willing to take responsibility. And it boils down to 3 points. One of them, however, flared up a little bit more with 2 different people this past week. I can't show you all of person number 1, but I'll just say it like this. It's been a pattern. So let's go ahead with issue number 1. The main issue with the first part is that, again, they got caught doing bad things. Okay? It wasn't just this video and this image here of the people on there. They don't care if they did something wrong. That's a problem right then and there. I'm not saying that we all do bad things. We all do bad things. I've done bad things in the past. Okay, this video isn't so good, but you know what? I'd rather say it than be a complete dumbass and not care about it at all. Look at the previous few weeks, particularly. Now, I'm not going to come out here and say that the Civil War wasn't fought over slavery. Yeah, it was. We know that. Let's not lie to ourselves. But that doesn't mean that there are people on one side or the other who want a different way. I'm not saying they were all bad people in the South. I'm not saying they were all good people in the North. I'm just saying, generally speaking, we did it. It wasn't a proud moment, but yet we went ahead and made that decision. It sucked, but at least we owned up to it. Just like,
You know, it's a very apt analogy. The American Civil War and what happened to him with VTubers. He's on the same level.
the Astros and their cheating scandal. Yes, the Astros fan rant is coming on. Sorry, I know the baseball season's upcoming. Give me a while for that. Generally speaking, if you do something wrong, you should at least own up to it. No.
Own up to it like the South did.
Nobody decides to do anything wrong. In particular, the last few minutes, I was talking with Ari Lambert, who I knew, I just had to backtrace it, said
The VTuber who showed her vagina on Twitter. To prove she's not a man.
that certain people, for trying to make some kind of competition between VTubers, were evil. They didn't directly say what their names were, but I knew who they were talking about. Me. Yes, I know it because I was the only person who set up something. Go back to my last 2 videos, particularly about One-san. I'll get to her in a minute again. The only person who would have done it would be moi. I know that because I was talking to the 2 people involved beforehand. So don't give me this whole, you don't have any evidence. Does anyone else have any evidence that it happened between those 2 people? Process of elimination much? If you really understand that you did something wrong, at least own up to it. I'll get to the point why that's a problem later on, but nobody seems to want to. Point number 2 is the incredible amount of people who are just bad at this. I don't mean on performing on cam. I mean, the only one I think is bad is Silvervale, but she's just terrible as a presenter anyway. Way too bouncy up and down for anyone's taste. It's just disgusting. But generally speaking, they're bad at getting to the point of communicating with their fans. You look at Discord particularly, and Discord has to be a reflection of yourself. In general terms, you have to be there. You cannot be half-a and be on the sideline. If you're not running your own Discord, the Discord is just going to simply not care. They're going to get apathetic and leave. I'll get to why that's a problem also in a moment. But generally speaking, you must be the headliner. And again, on my Discord, I try not to get in the way of people. I let it go.
That's why he got banned of like 3 Discords in the span of like 3 weeks. when those videos were made.
As much as I can, because there are different things that I can do and can't do that other people can't. Excuse me. But generally speaking, you must take care of your own sheep. If you decide I'm not going to be there, not many people want to be there either. This is a problem that's universal, though. This isn't just a VTuber problem. I remember I was completely annoyed with Lily Pichu because she was always standing with her friends and not really communicating much with the people in their server, just being there. And that's why I didn't stay on that server for very long. It's
In
not just
Discord.
one group of people, by the way. It's a universal problem. The more you don't actively work on this, the harder it is for people to enjoy. Now, I grant you it doesn't make you a lot of money, but that's where we get to point number 3 in a moment. But it's something
All those streamers not staying on Discord long enough to notice him.
that you have to be the one to be in charge of. Project Melody is the biggest problem with this. And that's part of why we get to who we're talking about in a moment. She's hardly ever there. Have you ever noticed Project Melody actually doing anything? There was one night I think she was on voice chat with people. Otherwise, I don't remember her actually posting much. It's always her staff, that. And being bad as a kind of social media person, yeah, that's fine, whatever. You can get away with it on like people like me. I don't really have a lot of followers because I'm not trying to play Twitter games, by the way. I don't do Twitter very well. I
Only
hate
do
Twitter.
Discord
I like YouTube. I
and
like
Discord
Facebook. Those
and
are the
Discord.
places I like going. I love going to conventions. I like being a real person. By the way, we'll get to that. Generally speaking, if you're on Discord, you
He's a real
must
human
be
being.
your main person. And that gets me to the two people I want to talk to right now. I know one of them has been very defensive over the long term, and another one has just recently, and kind of wanted to accelerate this video, even though I have a bit of a toothache. I don't know how many of you know Digitrex, the creator of several computer systems and computer programs over the course of the VTuber model. And I want to make a point very clear about this guy. I haven't really talked much about him because I don't think it's the general biggest problem of him. But recently, he went on to accuse a V streamer, who I will name nameless because I actually respect this person, of taking one of their models from a character from their past and basically being a copy of it. Now, my question of the day is, how much do we know about this? I can't really show you the models, but from what I've seen, it doesn't look like any copyright was actually broken here. Now, I'm not saying that it did or did not happen. I'm saying there's been instances where people have taken basic models of characters before, such as, in particular instance, the Houston Texans. I really hate this franchise. I made no bones about that for decades.
He has like 3 types of arguments to make about sports, VTubers, which he doesn't understand, and about conventions. That's his whole life. He makes no other analogies to anything because he probably doesn't have different life experiences besides those 3.
Their model with the steer with the eye of and being a star and being basically like the lone star of the state of Texas. The model of it was copied over by a high school in the Pasadena Independent School District, Sam Rayburn. By the way, us Dobie Longhorns, we own their asses and everything like a bunch of bitches. You know it's true, Sam Rayburn. Deal with it. And they did, however, copy the outline, but they changed the colors of it. And that you can actually legally do as a copyright change. It's not the exact trademark or copyright something or other. This is why a lot of people, you could make a kind of like Iron Man suit, but unless it's actually the suit itself, you can go around and say, yeah, I created something different. It's got to be a one-to-one copy of how.
Yeah, he's very incoherent, and his thoughts aren't very cohesive as well. He jumps from topic to topic and only talks about the things he experienced in his life. Well, of course, that's kind of obvious, but he doesn't have any interest beyond those three I mentioned, and as someone already said, he can't stay on point for more than like 2 minutes.
I'm not mistaken in terms of trademark. In this case, it wasn't. The eyes were different colors. The actual homochromic, one eye was blue, one eye was green. They're a little bit more oval than uh, horizontally than vertically. The hair may be the same color, but it was a different style. So I don't know. Unless you have the code that says this is a one-to-one exact copy, Digitrax doesn't really have any legs to stand on. They can use the body. They can.
I want to see him order food at a restaurant. Sir, this is a Wendy's. He probably goes on long rants anywhere he goes. I mean, he did say that he had issues at con circuits, so probably the same reason why he got issues with VTubers and getting banned from their servers.
Use the kind of like trace over it, but unless you've got something that says this is perfectly mine, there's not much you can do in that case. He's been very defensive over his properties before. He's gone on different YouTube channels attacking people for this. I can't really pull it up because, again, copyright and all that. Generally speaking, though, there's one person that bothers me even more, and that's the case of Kuro Usagi. He's basically become the moderator for a ton of VTubers. And I mean, everyone from Silvervale to now Iomi OnlySans administrator. And this is what I don't get. And I'm going to rant on this guy for a bit because this guy is just the worst. I've talked to 20 people specifically about him. I've come across 0 who actually like the guy. I mean, generally, as a moderator, this guy is liked by nobody. And I'll be honest with
I mean, that's the usual for Jenny's. No insult to my own moderators. Racklad, Badman, you guys are great. Keep on keeping.
you. If he were on my moderated team, he'd be gone yesterday. Yeah, you can ban me from Discord, whatever. It doesn't change very much. Somebody can always find a back door. I've got a lot more information from people talking to me, by the way, than I have actually pulling up another account and looking at these names, by the way. It's not that hard. I can do it in 10 seconds. Anyone can. It's not a secret. But I've got more people talking to me than I do actually looking at your Discord servers. But Kuro Usagi is pretty much across the board the biggest problem people have. Everyone has said this guy has pretty much killed. Now let me explain that. Killed Project Melody's Discord. I kind of have to agree. The guy is all.
See, this is the one other moment of lucidity that he had here. I don't know if you heard stories about the V Shoujo moderation team, because some of his stories have some note of truth to them. If you heard about Iron Mouse's Discord moderation team, you'd know that people have had issues with that for a very, very long time, and they tended, at least 2 years ago, 1 year ago, tended to be very aggressive with people. So yeah, he actually experienced something that is real, and that isn't just his selfish delusion. So sometimes you have to take him seriously if you're knowledgeable enough, I guess.
Always trying to be defensive, even though he might not seem like it to himself, about everything. Why the hell do you have this guy as your moderator then? I mean, what the fucking hell's wrong with you? Are you trying to get your Discord discontinued? Are you trying to get people to leave you? Because right now you're doing a damn good job
So
of it.
high-pitched.
Speaking of Discords, point number 3 is one of the dumbest ass fucking rules I can think of, and it's basically the no drama rule. If you do drama across anyone's anything, even they might not be talking about you directly, we're gonna ban your ass. Now, this on paper doesn't seem like a problem until you realize almost every VTuber with a Patreon or Twitch, they rely on their Discords to get these rewards out. Very specifically, you have to be a member of the Discord to get rewards from these VTubers. Question. Why would I support somebody whose only goal is to get rid of you if they don't like you? I wouldn't. I wouldn't spend any more money on that. I'd like to stress is that Kiro Usagi is the embodiment of an elitist mentality. If we don't like you, you're gone. Haha. You're gonna lose people after a while. You're gonna get rid of your supporters, then you're gonna lose the people who are on the fringes. What happens, as I said, if you just get rid of people just because you don't like them, you have nobody else. Because quite frankly, kind of take the mystique of Project Meld.
It doesn't make much sense. Like, why wouldn't you remove people that are disruptive to your Discord server? Like, what's the point of keeping him there? Because he's important? Because he's the main character?
Is dying a bit, and there are better VTubers coming up from out of it. I might be very blunt, though, in saying that this is becoming a problem with the elitist mentality that it's so elite, in my opinion, it's actually evil. Yes, evil, in my opinion. I'm not saying that it's generally evil, but the idea is simple. They do something wrong. Check. They don't own up to it. Check. They accuse other people for being bad at things and not them. Check. And they never issue any apology, even though when they get caught doing something, they might retract one thing, but they never say, oh, I'm sorry, my apologies. And it is the dumbest thing ever. These people, in my opinion, are evil. It's not evil to do bad things. It's evil to cover them up, say it's someone else's fault, and ignore the problem entirely. When Silvervale posted that racist thing, compare.
It's again not Silvervale. It's one of her mods that did that pets, aka Asian food channel name. He's the one responsible, and he keeps attributing that to Silvervale because he has a huge hate boner for her. I don't know why he doesn't like her so much, but it is what it is.
Comparing pets to Asian food, I called them out on it. And what did I get? Oh, Plasmawarrior is the bad guy for saying Silvervale did anything wrong. That's what I got. You want to know why there's so many downvotes on these channels? No. Not because people don't like the message. Because people don't like I'm saying it about their goddess or something. Oh, bow before Project Adolf Melody. No one can.
To be exact, there's very few downvotes on his videos because no one really watched them. I think he's completely delusional about this.
Never touch her. And I mean that, by the way. Not in the fact that they're going to send people to death camps and exterminate 7 million people. That nobody.
Oh, that was the Holocaust. He's comparing what happened to him to the Holocaust.
Ever fucking questions there's something wrong here. And it's mainly because
I got banned from the server and the Holocaust begins with me.
The people in power simply don't want any controversy and want to shift the blame to Twitch. Yes, that's exactly what Silvervale said. It wasn't my fault Twitch banned me, and everyone ran with it. You know what? You can go ahead and die on this sword all you want to. I don't want to be a part of people who willingly defend racist people. And the people in that picture, I don't know all their names. They're doing it because they're allowing themselves to be attached to Silvervale. Well, fuck you all! All of you who think Silvervale is this princess of innocence, go to fucking Hades! Not literally, because I'm not ever going to send you down there. I never will tell you to go to hell. But you know what? Go see the god of death and see what he has to say about it! At least wake up! No, I am a Latin scholar, and Hades was the god of death in Greek time, so there you go. Not hell, Hades. That being said, you guys have fucking ruined my entire good-naturedness about this. You called me a bad person for trying to explain this is wrong. You try to call me evil for even setting up that little thing between Isabella Electrum and Ione Ome-san, and you're allowing the one person, Kuro Usagi, who we all agree with in the community is a problem to run your servers and your streams? Hey, are you okay? Are you seriously mentally okay? I am asking that, and I'm autistic! They should say something! When this guy attacks other streamers on their stream, and I've got that confirmed before, I don't know what to do with these people anymore. My suggestion is to get out of this. I wish there was a silver lining. I wish there was something I could say that was positive, but every experience I've had, except for maybe three VTubers out of a whole group so far, has been the most toxic, evil, manipulative group I have ever experienced. I have had the most disrespect I've ever had in my life because of Isabella Electrum and Ione One-san. I have never, in 36 years, I've dealt with criminals. I've dealt with getting beat up before by my then mom's boyfriend. I've dealt with 3 roommates who are complete bitches who only cared about themselves. I have never in my life dealt with people so disrespectful, so manipulative, so generally evil, in my opinion, that I cannot find any reason to continue with them, most of them. If you are a good VTuber, I will in subsequent videos talk about you. But I will not be dealing with anyone right now as it stands unless you show me otherwise. If you want to get mad at me for these videos, go right on ahead. I'll go find something else to do. I always have, I always will, and I don't think you understand this. I don't need you. You need us. If you want money,
He is everybody.
I'm the type of person you need to be talking to. I've been to conventions for a decade and a half now. 15 years going to Onicon this fall. I know how to get to connections. I know how to talk to people. I know who to talk to.
Really?
I have been up and down. I've met people from Chuck Norris to the sound guy at Sentai Filmworks.
You missed
I know
everything.
people. I will be talking with a lot of people at the conventions. In any event, like, share, and subscribe, because quite frankly, I don't know when con season's going to come up. Delta H Con's saying they're going to happen, but I doubt it. But generally speaking, I've had enough of your attitudes. I've had enough of your egos. You never seem to care about anyone but yourselves. And quite frankly, I don't fucking need your bullshit. You're a bunch of little skanky hoes to me. And get bit, bitches.
What a gesture to end on. We got 2 more of these masterpieces to go through. Next one. This one has the funniest title of them all. My final warning to VTubers: fix yourself now. Get the love of the shirt, though.
Honestly, done all I could to explain situations over and over and over again. But unfortunately, I don't think it drives into people's heads so much. So, I'm going to have to say it the hard way. And I wish I didn't. But you know what? If I don't think it's going to matter anymore. So I'm going to just directly say this to the VTubers. Those who are watching, that is. Over the last literal about 4 months, all I've heard from people, including their moderators, is that all of this is not your fault. It's somebody else's problem. It's someone else's doing it. Someone else doing this. Someone else doing that. What was my main point after this first Silvervale video? What was it? When I proved, once and again, I'm going to have to show this, don't I? That, again, they were saying some really, really bad things. Seriously. Horrible. How the heck do you defend this? And again, I'll show you that same point in a moment. What was my point?
I'm glad the light is back.
What was my discussion about? was very simple. I cannot afford to be connected to anyone who makes this kind of statement. It does not matter what you think. If your mod did it or not, you are still a person that ends up having to deal with it. It is your server. You're in charge. You need to fix it. There's no sugarcoating this. I'm sorry. Do you want me to lie again? I don't know how much more I can take of it, realistically. And let me explain once and for all. I don't know how you ever think that relating food pets to food for Asians, as you can see, is a good idea.
He finally managed to get the camera steady. It's progress.
God's sakes. I don't have to explain anymore. That is racist or inhumane, or at the very least insensitive. So I don't know why people are saying, well,
It's one of these things. It's either so bad it's unthinkable, or it's just a bit insensitive.
it's not my fault. It's the same goddamn excuse. And yes, you can say this is because of one of your mods, but you still. No, I'm done with this. I'm not going back there. This is now the last time. There's no defending some of the actions people have made. Heck, people are now defending one VTuber. People are defending the mods that attacked them directly during their stream for some reason. What the fuck is wrong with you? Seriously. And no, I'm not advocating for this war people want to fight. Seriously, I don't understand why people want this. I don't want it. In fact, if you're wondering where I got this information, well, ladies and gentlemen, I may be one guy in his bedroom with webcam, but apparently somebody's already starting. I don't know why, but somebody decided to change somebody's, I don't know. Anyway, being this is from Poppy. Someone is pretending to be me because I refuse to fight back against other virtual streamers. Please report and block these accounts that are not me and will never be me. They even created their own
He's
Discord
entered his own
server
Christian
as me.
saga.
Not even the right shit of blue. Guys, I wish I were lying, but apparently it's already done. This idea of a war between VTubers, maybe fabricated, maybe not, I don't know. It's already happening. I'm not going to dance around saying, fuck you, I was right, because you know what? That time is past. You didn't want to listen to me that time. This is your last goddamn chance. And I'm serious. I can do no more. I can prove nothing more because this is direct. Whether it's your mods, whether it's you, unless you come out and say stuff is going wrong and try to fix it, it won't matter. Forget me. It were the quarterling. You'd be all, oh my goodness, no, that's a problem. It's before CNN. Oh no, we might want to get on that. Oh wait, Fox News or I don't know, Breitbart, Young
Fox News, help. I got banned from a VTuber server.
Turks, One News Net, American, whatever the heck, I don't even remember the acronym. It doesn't really matter who says it. The point is, it's already starting. It's a very scary thought, isn't it? There's nothing more I can say. If you're not trying to fix the problems, I hate to say this, forget me. I'm not going to be around. But that's really none of my business, right? I mean, all I'm doing is trying to tell you guys that you have a massive issue coming along. People are already trying to fight each other and try to destroy you. But you know what? Plasmawarrior, that's not a big deal, that guy, the afro. No, not at all. I swear, it's like I'm Cassandra. And this is Troy. I told the people, tell the people, hey, don't do it. And then all of a sudden they do it and kaboom. Helen gets captured. Probably Project Melody. I don't know who. Anywho, point being, at this point in time, I've said multiple times, person here is a problem, person's done this, people have gone through that, this person's attacking that. I need to ask an honest question. When are you going to learn? Because after tonight, I'm going on vacation, and bye, Felicia. I had to leave 2 servers, basically, because I feel like they're not going to learn anything, no matter how much I try. Maybe they will this time. I don't know. And unfortunately, I hate to say, for those of you who don't want to get involved, well, you kind of already are. Somebody even said that it wasn't a big deal what I said about Silvervale the first time. I'm sorry. You can attack me all you want to. I'm perfectly fine with it. This isn't a personal attack for me. This is a dead set warning. And this is your last one. Because tomorrow, get these masks here. Gonna take this luggage. And I won't be here for 2 weeks to care. And you can all figure it out on your own.
Pardon.
Do you understand how serious I just made that? Do whatever you want for 2 weeks. Bye. I'm literally telling you, this is your final notice from me. There will be no
Consequences will
others.
never be the same.
I don't care if I like you or not. That is irrelevant. I like Iron Mouse. But unfortunately, since she's connected with Silvervale, I can't support that person because of what happened. I would lose everything I've ever worked for, both as a convention guy and as an employee of
See, even if you're completely insane, like this guy, he at least can recognize that Iron Mouse is good.
a company that's essential. I can't do that. And then the people I work with will lose a lot of credibility. I work with a lot of conventions. It's not just the small ones. Heck, go back to see some of my other videos. I work for some big people. They're not responsible for what I do outside of the con. But once you're inside that con and you have that badge and you're a volunteer, you're damn right I've got a lot more responsibility, and they take it seriously because all of a sudden,
If people like him are volunteers at anime cons, then I want to go to less anime cons.
I'm now working with them. And it's the same thing for a Discord server. I know they're not getting paid, but if you don't handle it, things are going to get worse. But at this point, this is my last time. You may take it or leave it, because I'm going to be gone. And I won't be here. And if something does happen, I'm not going to get involved. You don't want to be a part of it, but unfortunately, I don't know how to tell you this otherwise. People are trying to do it already. And it makes me sick. I'm literally sick to my stomach having to say this. I'm not happy about it. I'm miserable having to see this go on. But there is no other chance after this. I'm telling you straight up. This is it. Time for you to make a decision. Either fix your problems, try to work with the people with you.
With me, work with me, and only me.
Don't let the bad apples get more and more bad for you. And I mean it. I mean, Kira Usagi, we've said this how many times? And people have said this over and over. How many more complaints are he going to get? I'm sorry. I'm going to say to Athena Eris, I like you, but how many more times are you going to hear a complaint from this about this guy and you not do anything about it? Bottom line, tomorrow morning, Plasmawarrior doesn't exist for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, you don't even know I'm here because I won't be. Bottom line,
He's almost crying.
if things happen in those 2 weeks,
His eyes are all watery.
I'm not going to even
Holy
want to bother
shit.
with it. I'll be on the beaches of Biloxi, Mississippi, kicking back and drinking hopefully a bunch of Angry Orchards. That's how serious this is going to get for you now. No more warnings. No more explaining this. No more help. You are now on your own. As much as I hate to say this, as much as I like certain people, as much as I want to help Jenny Starveling, I can't. I hope this war doesn't go on while I'm gone. Because quite frankly, I wouldn't want to fight it anyway.
Last one. People want a VTubers war. Why that is not a good idea? This is sadly the last video he made on VTubers, and after that he fucked off from the community. He finally left, having settled for not being able to help anyone fix their issues and constantly getting banned from everywhere.
Hello, everyone. I'm Plasmawarrior, as we like to call me. That guy's trying to deal with a hurricane right now. Yes, I'm in San Antonio. I'm actually trying to deal with family in Houston. It's kind of an odd situation, but still, the point stands. Category 4. If you're in the area right now, of anything near it, you should have gotten out yesterday. But I digress. Let's get to the real meat and potatoes here. I don't have to explain what I've been saying for the past few weeks. I've already atomized every single problem of the VTuber universe so far in my previous videos. No more need to talk about Silvervale's racist comments or inhumane comments. I've already dealt with that. Did she do it herself? I don't know, but she allowed her mods to do it. I digress. Point still stands that this is actually part of the problem that I've been seeing in the past few weeks, and particularly revolving around our least favorite group of people in the universe, Silvervale and her team. However, that's just the setup. Let me give you the real point. There have been VTubers who have been openly asking for, or their supporters, for a war that has been going on between the sides. And allow me to make it very clear that two things obviously will end in every war ever happens. Death and more taxes. Gosh, it's like life itself. But seriously, the problem I see isn't that this is a good idea. Is that this might actually be the worst idea possible, but there are reasons for this to happen. And let me explain. No, I am not advocating for people to go to war with each other. In fact, quite frankly, it would mean mutual mass destruction. But I'll get to that in a moment. Here are the main reasons why people want this sort of war. Number one, let's just be honest. The people at the top right now are not that good. Save for Iron Mouse. Iron Mouse is precious, let's be honest. Silvervale is absolutely Pinkie Pie with no off switch. Zentarda, no personality at all. She barely talks. And Project Melody, you've seen one of her streams, you've seen them all. Here's the issue with that. Nobody criticizes them lest they get removed from the community. What was my main argument? Do not consider yourself a community. Consider yourself independent contractors, right? I thought so. The problem with this community is that they're trying too hard to keep too close together and end up ripping everyone else apart. Let me make it very clear. I don't go to a Discord server or a Twitter for somebody else. I go for that particular identity, and that's it. Why would I care what the rest of the community has? I wouldn't. So problem number one is still problem number one no matter what. Problem number two. When was the last time some of these VTubers did anything for you? I don't just mean because they get naked on cam like Project Melody. I mean legitimately try to talk to you about something. One of the things I've actually addressed to other adult models, particularly.
It always comes back to, you know, the entertainers you're watching doing something for you directly. It's not enough that they put a show up for you. It always has to be some direct personal involvement on Discord servers, preferably.
Is that you should never be unreachable. And that's exactly what we got with Project Melody over terms. When was last time she was on her Discord server to talk to people? No, you have to go through VR chat and you have to pay $20 a month. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against making money. I am, however, against not trying to do anything anyway. That's been the problem with about 80% of the VTubers. Just look at Isabella Electrum. What does she do on her Discord? Nothing. She admits it freely, but that is irrelevant to the point. When they do nothing to support the rest of your group, they ended up being the problem. People don't like when you do nothing for anybody. I don't mean just, hey, pay me money. I'm not asking for that. I'm saying, look, I've been supporting you for the past 6 or 7 months. When am I going to get a shout out? Almost never. Again,
Again, Notice Me Senpai, the extreme version of it.
far be it for me to be complaining about you getting money,
It's like simp logic.
but I think that's the other turn of the event here. Problem number 3 might be the one I really have to address here. What the hell did any of these people do to be a good streamer? Not very much. Again, Iron Mouse is just a good personality. I like it. But when you're streaming, you have to be either one of two things. A good orienter or good autism speaker, someone with good personality, or B, be a good gamer. Unfortunately, there's not many that are like that. I mean, there are outliers, and I'll get to them later. But generally speaking, the idea of this war is not far-fetched because the people at the top are not good at it. I'm sorry, they're not.
Stay
Generally
hungry.
speaking, it's the people in the lower ends and the people you don't know right now who are not trying to fight a war. They're trying to be better than right now. I'll just say it how it is. The ones that you haven't heard of yet, the ones that you probably haven't seen, are getting attacked by certain people who are loyal to these hierarchy guys. And that's to be saying, yes, it goes back to our least favorite moderator of all time, Kiro Usagi, who just recently attacked a VTuber who's starting out because they're Japanese and they don't know English very well. I'm surprised. I can communicate with that person very well. What's the problem with that? Nothing. I think she's fluent in English pretty decently. Again, these guys have been out to get most of the other VTubers for a while, and now it's the VTuber ally revenge, which I do not actually recommend. See, the problem with this idea is actually we are now kind of getting the market too flooded with VTubers. And unfortunately,
Even in 2020, he already noticed that there was an overflow of too many VTubers. Again, those moments of lucidity that this guy has are infrequent, but when they happen, you do notice them.
no, this might come as a shock. I actually don't believe this myself. People find VTubers cringy. I know it's
Oh yeah, his shirt says CP.
it's hard to understand that. I don't get it myself. I actually think VTubers are creative. Heck, Jenny Starveling, for God's sakes, proves that point. But I think this is why the war really isn't going to help anybody if you're trying to fight it. And believe me, I don't want to start a war. You go back to my old videos. They don't want to fix it. That's on them. I'm just moving on to other people. That's how I am. Sure, I would like to see people beat Project Melody, but I'm not going to actively try to destroy them either. So, this idea of a war only hurts everyone else because right now, people find the VTuber universe cringy as all heck. And I can kind of see it. certain people, Silvervale, because they never seem to understand you've got to play
This
to your
fucking
audience,
guy.
Silvervale. Instead of being bounce up the wall lewd all the damn time, Silvervale, you need to know when to slow down and be human, Silvervale. You're not getting off of her ever. Ever. You should know that by now.
He's
But in
riding her
any
like a
event,
horse.
if you are perceived as cringy, it's gonna roll around to real life aspects. I mean, like I said before, I'm not disrespecting the numbers you're getting for Project Melody. If you can get 17,000 people without that, which could have happened as far as the rumors are told, I'm not going to explain much. But there are rumors of who Project Melody is IRL. A lot of people have said that, but I have never seen it confirmed. All I know are rumors. And that IRL person is actually a better overall idea than what Project Melody became. Why would you change that? Hell, I don't know. Just ask anyone else why would you make yourself worse by being digital? Makes no sense. But I'm going to go ahead and move off of that for a moment. When it comes to the idea of this war, all it's going to hurt are the people under that level. The people who are good natured VTubers and the ones that I've actually been able to talk to. This is a little bit of a problem. If you're not willing to be direct with your fans, you're very much not going to last very long. I don't know if that matters to most people, but there's always someone better. And again, I've seen them. And to be very blunt, as a person, as a gamer, I'd rather beat you outright than try to destroy you from within or just start destroying you this way. Yes, things have been said, and there have been things that I can prove. But that again, what happens with these people? They get super defensive and disband you because they don't like what you said about them. Oh, boo fucking who. It's like you're the Democrat Party, for God's sakes. Don't get me started. You know it's a true fact. We'll get to the election in October.
Oh yeah, he also has political rant videos, being extremely Republican to the point of like parody. Nothing against either political party. Both are retarded, in my mind at least.
Hold on. I've got something special for that as an unapologetic election nerd. But seriously, when it comes down to it, enough of the whole let's go ahead and fight a war. If you want to win, be better than they are. Be better than the people that are at the top and rise your ranks that way. Otherwise, this whole idea of war will only destroy everyone involved, yourself included. And let me say it like this. Sometimes this is actually backfiring a bit. Question. When has Ione-Oni-san, aka Ichien, been on Plex Storm? Since she moved? Well, let me explain it again. I'm not going to fry her for whatever the separation with Bad Luck Yang is. That is not the goal here. I still feel bad for the guy. I'm not going to criticize that. That's something completely different. Yeah, it looks really bad on an ambassador of your platform when they don't ambassadorize, and whatever you want to call it. How long has it been? I don't freaking know. Heck, I think it's been about 3, 4 months.
She's just a streamer there, dude. She wasn't anything more than that.
Like right when I started watching them? Seriously though. The one thing about this war idea is that when you start it, there's no going back. And it's kind of like if you've seen anything from the X-Men in the last 10 years, 20 years, more or less. The war is mutually destructive. And in that case, nobody wins. So what should you do? Well, forget if you need to do 2 things if you want to start a war. One, get away from the high-end VTubers. I've already said your best option if you're starting to VTube is simply put, don't be with the ones that are at the top. Make your own way. Thank God people like Athena Eris is. 2, anything from that regime, anything from that group, you need to say, I don't need you. I'm sorry, but anybody still having Kiro Usagi as a moderator, I'm gonna seriously question if I should stick around anything you guys are doing. Seriously. Again, how many more complaints are we getting out of the guy? Like, I get one every week from people. That should tell you something. Like I said, if he were on my mod team, he would have been gone a long time ago, and people still let it happen. Just cut your ties with them and look to build yourself up internally. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect. Heck, I'm autistic trying to talk to you. I'm one guy in his bedroom with a webcam. You see this? Oh, by the way, just so we know, this is my bedroom. That is my game. That's my PlayStation 2. And this is my house. That is the all tied something pods over there. And that's a lot. You get the idea, folks. I'm starting from the bottom and working my way up because I don't want people from the top to weigh me down. I believe the best
Oh, don't get me started on Alex Ox. She deserves her own video at one point.
thing to do is simply get your own group and pull yourself up. And for those of you who are probably wondering, oh, okay, I'm not like Silvervale or Zendratta, that idea doesn't work. Just ask Delta HCon how that happens when they talk about anime Matsuri. You have to build your own brand and ignore everyone else's. I know it sucks to hear this, but
Oh, kinda, almost right, but you know, people have success stories for a reason. Emulating them is not a bad idea usually, but adapt their success into your own. See what they do well and see what you can copy and use as your own. So he's kind of half right about that. But, you know, being your own person is important because that's what gets you the most attention as a VTuber, that genuine nature of yours. But again, copying someone is not a bad idea if you can make it work for yourself.
don't consider these people your enemies, your rivals, or your competition. Consider them irrelevant to what you do. Like I said, you're not competing with each other. You're competing with the ability for me to part ways with my own money. And that should be the factor of everything. Now, do I suggest becoming a VTuber right now? Hell no! To me, people are finding this cringy. It's too risky to do that right now. Your best bet, if you're going to start, and like I said, just be separate from things, start off with a base already to install and move up from being normal IRL human to VTuber. Kind of like a certain person that people rumored to be Project Melody. But seriously, in the end, this war is going to destroy everybody, and I'm not going to want to be around to deal with it. Yes, these videos are out there. You can look for yourself, but I'm not here going to start some personal feud with, I don't know, Iron Mouse just because you don't like how she's a, quote, legal lolly, end quote. I'm sorry. Not going to happen. No way. There is one more little note to be had. I'll be going off to see my family. Like I said, my random thoughts video. I will probably be there sooner rather than later because, well, storm and all. But in any case, like, share, and subscribe. Also, donate to my PayPal, Plasmawarrior2002@gmail.com. I will try, though I probably won't be able to, make another video on Friday. Hopefully it will come out, but at this point, I'm more concerned with packing my bags and hoping that a Category 4 storm doesn't destroy half of Houston. But until then, later.
And sadly, that's everything from him. It was a nice ride. But Plasmawarrior has retired from VTubers in general. Now he just sticks with people that are doing loot content in whatever ways. He's still trying to organize that hentai-con alternative of his. Ineffectual and ineffective. And who the fuck knows when we're hear of him next time when it comes to VTubers. But yeah, he's special. I've never seen a person this invested in themselves in terms of other VTubers. Like some of you mentioned, like he really has the main character syndrome pretty bad. I don't know what else to add to that. Like everything he said is very self-explanatory. He spoke for himself. I can't add anything more to make it funny. It was all. It was all in his performance. I hope you enjoyed his antics. I did. Like, he's truly exceptional. I wish he came back. And I'm glad I saved these videos. They'd be normally lost to time if I didn't. And I sat on them for 3 fucking years. Just to show them to you right now. I have a lot more of such personalities in store. Sadly, they don't have video content like this guy has, but they're also as exceptional as he is. Some of them are worse. I mean, you saw Chaser. He was a special case. This guy is a different one. A lot less egregious about his actions, but a lot more selfish. A bit more self-indulgent as well. But yeah, I can zip up these videos and send them to whoever. I think I'll put them on Twitter so they circulate and his legend grows, so that none of you forget the name of Plasmawarrior and his hate boner for Silvervale. I still don't know why he hates her so much. I mean, it's either, you know, that she allowed that racist channel name to stand, or he just doesn't find her amusing enough to the point where he started to hate her. But you know, he is what he is, and he probably will never be more than he is. And you have to respect that. And if you don't, then too bad. Plasmawarrior. Let me catch up to the chat a bit. See what's been happening. And then we'll have a play out with some fitting song that will get copyright claimed. And then you can guys go. I held you up for quite a long time with this guy. Yeah, there've been some highlights of this video. The I'm autistic screaming was definitely one of them. Oh yeah, Plexstrom died. Yeah, it did. I looked it up. It didn't offer much in terms of higher bitrates, so you were pretty limited to a resolution with that one. And the connection on it, to my memory, wasn't very good either. What a terrifying smile. Yeah, his smile will haunt your dreams. Best not to rewatch this video if you're skittish. This was a mess with spots of clarity. That's how I like it. Messy but amusing. At the end of the day, seems like he didn't hurt no one. That's at least something. Yeah, I don't think he actually hurt anybody other than his own ego. He got confronted with reality that he didn't really accept all until the end. He felt too important for his britches. And I really don't think he has as much influence as he thinks he does. So, Kurunji, have a question. Have you ever played a Shin Megami Tensei game before? Yeah, I have played all of them, all of the main mainline Shin Megami Tensei games. The last one I really enjoyed as well. I think it's one of the best ones in years at least. 2 and 3 are my favorites. When it comes to Persona, which I kinda don't consider real Shin Megami Tensei games, which is I don't know. I don't know if that's a consensus within Megami Tensei fans. But after Persona 3, I just kinda left that ship. Persona 4 was completely uninteresting to me, and 5 didn't look appealing whatsoever. I ended it at 3, and I'm glad that I ended it at 3. 3 was pretty great. Bro, you should play Spud's Adventure. It's the basis of Jack Bros. That sounds something to add to the bucket list, I guess. Please clip that I'm autistic moment. That was gold. I should make more clips of these streams because there's some good moments. Like, I should clip the one from the Chaser stream where the Air Duster Tard saga happens, because that one's funny as hell. And this I'm autistic moment is also a very clippable one. I haven't made any clips yet because of lack of time, and also I want to have like a proper intro to these clips. I don't want the clips just to start and play off until the end. Might make YouTube shorts out of them if I'm not gonna make clips out of them. I guess that's also another alternative. Shorts are very easy to make. Just changing the aspect ratios, a bit of cropping here and there wouldn't take too much time. So yeah, I might do those in short formats, but only when I have the time to do so. Let's see. RIP in peace, Light Chan and Lucky Charm Crew. I did like the Brony shirt and the CP shirt at the end, though. Those were also quite amusing. But yeah, this guy made Silvervale look good. Bless him. Not gonna lie, it's like opening a time capsule of crazy. Yeah, yes it is, and I'm glad I saved that capsule instead of just letting it rot in the ground where no one would be able to discover it. Why does he seem like a male Karen? Because he is one. He's all about himself. The world needs to revolve around what he wants, and he thinks that everyone else should be on his side and things should always go his way. Otherwise, you're evil. Are all mods like this? Some of them are. This was probably the worst example of a mod that you can have. I don't know if Zentreya has done anything recently. At least she apologized publicly when they knew they wrong. Well, Zentreya has done one good thing recently, in like yesterday or 2 days ago. You know, the Harry Potter thing. Like, Zentreya also got some comments about playing the game, and she basically told the person making the complaints to fuck off, that she supports trans people in the way she does, and she's gonna play the game because she wants to at one point in time. And yeah, I can respect that. I can respect standing up for yourself, your friends, and your community, and letting a minority control what you do. Yeah, that is a good thing. Silvervale kind of did the same, which is also kind of admirable, I guess. I posted a thread with all kinds of comments directed at her. She luckily didn't respond to any of them, but To my knowledge, and by the account of a person in that thread, she's been banning anyone trying to derail her Harry Potter threads and just continuing to play it. So again, I can respect that too. Might not like much of Bishoujo, but I can respect actions that, you know, stand by their communities and aren't just bitch made. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end in a few seconds. It's been a fun time. Hope you guys enjoyed yourself. I'm gonna work on those clips in time and think about other topics of streams I want to do. With some time and with a lot of care, I might do some self-produced videos that aren't streams, but again, that's far into the future when I have the time to do so, because otherwise I'm swamped with my own needs, my own activities throughout the day, and I have pretty tight schedules I need to keep. That's why these streams are all around the same time, and I don't want them to go past a certain length, like 2 to 3 hours, maybe in a maximum of 4, which would be a rarity, is something I would be aiming for. But yeah, thank you guys for coming. Let me switch the screens real quick. Let me play you off with a song that's hopefully fitting to today's stream. Thanks for coming. Once again, I hope you enjoyed yourself. Stay off Twitter, stay hydrated, and don't be Plasma Warrior.